Hey you guys, welcome to session 3. In this session, we're going to continue to build up the values, do some more stripes, do some more fur, and have a good time with this tiger. So let's get started. All right, so I was feeling this tiger at this stage. Of course, this is what we call the ugly middle stage, and I think it looks good, but I do notice that I feel like this tiger looks washed out. So what I did was I went into my Photoshop program and played with what's called levels, and that basically adjusts the values in your reference to be more dramatic. And I will share with my Patreon students exactly how I did that if you're interested, but it really helps me see as an artist where I can punch things up and get things a little bit more dramatic. And there's a lot I can do, I think, here. So I will. And mostly what that means is going in, make sure my brush is pretty clean. And I'm gonna get some more of this orange and a good dose of burnt sienna on my brush, and go in and pop some of these oranges out even more. So I took the original picture as it was presented on the forum that I got it from, but I'm just gonna push it a little bit in Photoshop so I can see what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna fix these edges. They got a little dry on me. This is already getting so dry. I just moistened this and look, it's already, all my edges are. So I'm going in with some clear water on my brush and working up into the boundaries of what I just painted to kind of draw those edges out and re-moisten where I want to paint. Especially right here, near his eye, where I really want to punch it up beautifully. And I love putting granulating burnt sienna in I love putting thick burnt sienna cream consistency into moist paint because it just really is pretty. I'm gonna get all of this a lot darker. And I don't mind if my paper is drying a little bit here. When I popped that picture out, it really helped me see where I could add a lot more drama with the color. If you don't have Photoshop, there are some good free programs. One that I've been playing with is called Paint Desktop, I think. I need to look that up for you guys. Almost dry brushing at this point because my paper has dried so much. But this is still pretty wet. picture was really washed out. Now that I get to this stage of the painting, I see that I really needed to fix my reference photo in Photoshop. It was really washed out looking, and this is so much more dramatic looking. It's already looking better, isn't it? One thing to remember is that when you put your paint down, just remember that it's going to look a lot lighter when it dries. Now, when you get your paper drying, you can get these really nice textural effects if you just go with the flow of it. And this creates really nice this is all really dark in here. Much darker than what I had now that I've got my reference popped out. And do a lot of dry brushing and dot with your finger. The tiger deserves to have the dramatic look, doesn't he? I love this little ridge of fur that he has behind his jowls. So I'm going to try to pay attention to that because I like it as an artist, and I want the viewer to say, oh, look at that. And dry brushing is a perfect technique right in there along that edge. All right, that's looking good. Let's go ahead and put in some more eye details so we can really let this tiger talk to us while we paint. Don't you feel like the animal's almost communing with you once you make his eye alive? So, and the eye is so close already. I just love how this eye is looking, but I want to make his iris a little bit bigger to really give him that look. Eye of the tiger. I should sing Eye of the Tiger while I sing this to you guys. It's like, don't get ahead of yourself, Rach. Okay? Okay. That's really all it needed right there. And then this comes down a little bit more here and feathers out. I'm using dry brush technique here. This kind of goes up here a little bit more at an angle. I'm just trying to get that shape right. Oh, that looks good. Don't you love it? Y'all, when you're painting this eye, please, 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 if you don't do anything else with this painting, get your darks dark, your lights light in the eye. Because look how that little bit really made this sing a lot more. And this has a little bump on it. I'm really looking now to get these little details in. And then he's got this second layer of eyeliner. How great is that? Down here. And I am dry brushing right now very carefully in this area because I just want it to be exact. And it is right where the viewer is going to look, so I'm just making sure to get that edge a little bit more jagged, maybe even more than it is in the reference, just to add some interest. not make it look too pasted on, and then I'll go in with clear water and kind of loosen it up just a skosh here and there, but it doesn't need much. Ah, that eye looks great. Very happy with it. There's parts of a painting you will love, and there will always be parts of a painting that you're like, don't look at that, please. And no one will notice those parts. Especially if you get the eye right, people are gonna like zoom into the eye, all right? And everything else plays a supporting role to the eye. So just, if your painting is going a little sideways, just soldier on and get the eye right. And I don't know for you guys, but for me, the eye is not so hard to get right because it makes me focus, because I'm so drawn in by eyes. I mean, as many humans are. So it's easier to get that eye right because you already naturally, as a human, are attracted to it, and you'll get it right. You can do it. All right, and there. So do you see a pattern here? Okay, this whole painting as a whole, look at the values. There's lights, there's mediums, there's darks, and very darks as a whole. And then zoom in to like the ear. There's lights, mediums, and very darks, right? In the eye, of course, there are lights, mediums, and darks. And a general rule of composition is to have those in imbalanced amounts. So you want a tiny little bit of light with a lot of darks, and a medium amount of mediums, or a lot of mediums and a tiny little dab of dark and a medium amount of white. So you want to vary the amount of your values if you can. So this eye has a tiny bit of lights, a lot of medium, and about a medium amount of the super darks, because the eyeliner plus the iris all add up to quite a bit of dark, but mostly mediums in the eye color, and then that splash of pure white. So just try to keep that in mind when you're painting your values. And that's why when I looked at this, it was looking kind of washed out. It was just too many lights and mediums all at the same time. So I just want a few lights in this painting, quite a bit of mediums, and a few darks. All right, so I'm going to add some shading to my tiger. And I think I'm going to give you guys 2 reference photos. And now I'm dry brushing. This is fur that I'm painting. And so the dry brush technique is perfect for it. Okay, I might go in and shape this a little bit more. But then these darks in here are pretty dark. Connect. This dark area connects with a very dark area all the way to this dark area. And this is a lot of dark area in here. Get some more ultramarine. Dark indentation over there, and I'm going to really let that ultramarine blue sing in there. All right, and then I'm going to put a lot more. I'm going to get his chin wet And I only want this very edge to be fairly white. So this is on the underside of the cat. So we want some more shadows down in here to make it look more believable. So I'm just carefully looking at my reference photo to see where the darkest shadows are. And they're mostly right under this black line. I'm traumatized from missing some of that footage earlier, so I'm constantly looking at my camera now. I don't want to lose any more. I hate that. Okay, now this tiger has a bit of an indentation through here. And then this way along the ridge of his muzzle. So I'm going to just build that structure up delicately at first, tentatively, because I don't want to mess anything up here if I can avoid it. Now some of these gradations in shadow just weren't showing up in the original reference photo as I got it off of free reference photos for artists. So, all right, so I think we have the values closer over here. You would never see that in the original. Okay, and then he also has a little bit of shadow through here. It's very subtle. I would not have noticed that in the other picture. So I'm glad I checked. Okay, that really helps, I think. We should do this other eye. Let's pop that other eye out, you guys. You want to? I don't remember if I don't think I masked this eye, did I? I can't feel it. Oh, that's looking good, you guys. Isn't that looking good? I'm gonna put some eyeliner on this eye now. This eye is very much, can't really see much of it. So I'm going to be really delicate here. There's that part, and then this part of the eye has some eyeliner too. Steady hands, steady hands. And then this has a very dramatic joining with the background, so we'll let that happen. This kind of goes along his nose a little bit down in here. And then when that dries, I can put in the orange on that side. All right, that looks good. Should we do his nose? I'm getting pretty much pure orange and naphthol red, or aureolin and naphthol red for this nose, and I can always tone it down later. But in the reference, his nose is like bam. And we don't want the nose to be the main attraction. No, we don't, but I'm going to add some burnt sienna to tone it down. I don't want him to look like Rudolph. But I'm going to put a few drops of, I've got milk consistency down now. Now I'm going to drop in some cream consistency just in the darkest areas. Just so some parts of the nose are a little bit lighter. And in fact, I think I'm going to clean out my brush, wring it out, get all the water out, and then now this area on his top of his head, I'm gonna merge this part of his head a lot more than it is in the reference photo, just to create a soft disappearing edge. And you don't have to do that if you're like, I don't want to do that. You don't have to. But I really want that to be a soft disappearing edge. So I'm scrubbing right across that boundary, you guys. You see that? And then I'll go in over all that scrubbing to smooth it out with a damp brush and just run over that. And you don't have to do that part if you don't want to. But I just want another place of attachment. And I think I want another place of attachment right over here. I'm going to loosen up this edge right here, just to make him look a little bit more part of his environment. And over here would be a good spot. I'm going to go in with some ultramarine blue over here and attach it back here. Attach, attach, attach to your background, y'all. Attach. This is attached pretty well. Scrub right across that boundary. Go away, boundary. Go away, edge. We don't want you. We really don't. Drop some burnt skin into this wet area. So we've got a point of attachment here, here, here. This could be better. Let's do a little bit more down in here and soften that. All right. And when I get the masking off, I can do even more if I want. Let's see if I can refine right in here while I'm at it. This would be a good place for some gouache to just go. I might do that just to finish them off later. And I'll probably scrub out some of this. This is starting to look real good. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in for session 3. And in the next session, we'll continue to build up the values, do more stripes, and start working on the smaller details on this tiger. I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.